Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. This is your coach Aina. Welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about my journey as to why and how I moved to Luxembourg. So I was staying in Dubai earlier, and I moved from Dubai to Luxembourg. And I want to walk you through that journey, and also talk about how I found a job in Luxembourg, how much time did it take, and also a little bit about work permit, residence permit, etc. And finally, I want to talk about salaried work for high qualified workers, or the blue card. EU blue card ne kurche, I will talk a little bit about that, and what are the highly skilled worker categories jobs available in Luxembourg. So let's get started. So, for a third country national who wishes to work in Luxembourg for a period of more than 3 months, and under the category of highly qualified worker, or under the EU blue card, there are two steps that you need to follow. So one is before entering the country, and the next step is after entering the country. So before entering the country, you basically submit an application for a temporary authorization to stay. This is, you submit this application to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Then later, you also need to have a valid passport, which is not getting expired in the next 6 months. And also you basically apply for a type D visa after having obtained the temporary authorization to stay. Later, after entering the country, you can make a declaration of arrival in the new commune residence of Luxembourg, and then you undergo a medical checkup, and then you apply for a residence permit for highly qualified workers, and it is also called the EU blue card. So, ഈ ഒരു പ്രോസസ്സാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈവൻ ബിഫോർ എൻറ്ററിങ് ദ കൺട്രി ആൻഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർ എൻറ്ററിങ് ദ കൺട്രി ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. സോ ബിഫോർ എൻറ്ററിങ് കൺട്രി ഈ പ്രോസസ്സ് യൂഷ്വലി ചെയ്യുക നമ്മുടെ എംപ്ലോയർ ആയിരിക്കും. സോ ഇഫ് യു ഹാവ് ആൻ ഓഫർ ലെറ്റർ, ഇഫ് യു ഹാവ് എ ജോബ് ഓഫർ, ഇറ്റ്സ് ദ എംപ്ലോയർ ഹു അപ്ലൈസ് ഫോർ യുവർ ടെമ്പററി ഓഥറൈസേഷൻ ടു സ്റ്റേ. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു ഹൈലി ക്വാളിഫൈഡ് വർക്കർ കാറ്റഗറിയിൽ വരാനായിട്ട് കുറച്ച് qualifications, കുറച്ച് conditions ഉണ്ട്. അത് ഞാനൊന്ന് ഇവിടെ വായിക്കാം. So the first criteria is that you need to have at least 1 year contract from the employer. So ഈ ഒരു valid employment contract ഇല്ലാതെ you cannot apply for this highly qualified worker category. Now the second one is that you need to have an offer for a remuneration of at least equivalent to 1.5 times the amount of the Luxembourg average gross salary. ഈ ലക്സംബർഗ് ആവറേജ് ഗ്രോസ് സാലറി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 84,780 യൂറോസ് ആണ് പെർ ആനം. സോ ഇതിൻ്റെ അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് ഈക്വലൻറ്റ് ടു 1.5 ടൈംസ് ഓഫ് ദിസ് amount ആണ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ. അപ്പോൾ അതല്ലാന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ യുവർ ഓഫർ ഓഫ് യുവർ റെമ്യൂണറേഷൻ ഷുഡ് ബി അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് 1.2 ടൈംസ് ഇക്വലൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ ലക്സംബർഗ് ആവറേജ് ഗ്രോസ് സാലറി annually, which is 67,824 euros. But other എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it's only for certain following professions. And for which the government has noticed a particular need to employ third country nationals. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു certain professions വരുന്നത് ഒന്നെങ്കിൽ mathematicians, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ actuaries, statisticians ആവാം, system analyst, software developers, web and multimedia developers, application programmers, software and application developers and analysts, database designers and administrators, system designers, computer network professionals, database and network professionals not classified elsewhere. പ്രൊഫഷൻസിൽ കുറേയൊക്കെ മാത്തമാറ്റീഷ്യൻസ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഫിനാൻസ് ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു IT പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് ഉള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്കാണ് ഈ ഒരു കാറ്റഗറിയിൽ, ഹൈ ക്വാളിഫൈഡ് വർക്കർ കാറ്റഗറിയിൽ വരാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. അപ്പം ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു പ്രൊഫഷൻ ആണ് നിങ്ങൾ ഉള്ളതെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you can always come in this profession, and you will be always eligible for a blue card or a highly qualified worker category. So when I moved from Dubai to Luxembourg, I was already working in a data and analytics company in Dubai. So basically, my employer had given me a remote work opportunity. So I continued to work from Luxembourg as well. And later on, I started looking out for opportunities within Luxembourg or within Europe. So it took me around 6 to 8 months to find a job in Luxembourg. And that is mainly because of language restrictions. സോ നമ്മൾ ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഫ്രഞ്ച് ആണ് ഞാൻ നോക്കിയത്. അപ്പോൾ ഫ്രഞ്ച് ലാംഗ്വേജ് അറിയില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് ബിക്കംസ് യുവർ ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ടു ഫൈൻഡ് എ ജോബ് ബിക്കംസ് വെരി ഡിഫിക്കൾട്ട്, especially for me, because I was in a customer facing sales role, and because it requires you to communicate with clients in their language, it was very difficult for me to find a job. So adila njan actually I started to learn French. I joined the National Institute of Languages in Luxembourg, where you can get a training for learning French. So I did that. And simultaneously, I was also applying for jobs. And mostly my applications were through LinkedIn. I have found that within EU, LinkedIn is very effective. And when you apply with a proper resume and you ask for referrals, there are always opportunities where people will look at your resume and they will schedule or interview based on whether you are a right fit or not. So resume nalla optimize ചെയ്ത് ATS friendly ആക്കിയിട്ട് വെക്കുക. You can also use something called the Europass CV, which is again it's a standard template that is recognized all over Europe. So you can also use that to create your resume if you are looking for applying to jobs in Europe. അപ്പം I did that, and I started taking interviews. But interviewsലും കുറെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂസ് ഒന്നും ക്ലിയർ ആയില്ല. The main reason was the most important thing that they check here in Europe is culture fit. So how your values, how your responsibilities align with the larger culture of the organization, and this is very important for European companies. So finally, after many interviews, I did get a job based in Netherlands. So basically, the company was headquartered in Netherlands, but I got the opportunity to work from Luxembourg remotely. So avade njan, I entered an employment contract and I could start working with that company. But having said that, നമ്മൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ if you are coming along with your spouse, you don't need a separate work visa. So basically your residence permit will also allow you to work in Luxembourg, but what you need is an employment contract. So you need to have the employment contract with whichever employee you're working with, and that employment contract depends on whatever time period that you have signed the contract. It can be 6 months contract, it can be a 1-year contract, it can be a definite period contract, or it can be an indefinite contract also. So അങ്ങനെ ഒരു contract ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലാണ് you can start working in Luxembourg. A lot of you have asked in the comments if you can recommend a agency or how I can apply for a PR in Luxembourg. എൻ്റെ knowledge, I don't know of any agency that will help you get a PR or a residence permit in Luxembourg, because it basically works between the employer and the government. So if you have to if you have to apply for a residence permit, apply it through the employer. So essentially you should have a job offer. Or if you're coming as a student, then you can do that as well. By applying through the institution, then you get a student visa. അപ്പോൾ കുറച്ച് ഗവൺമെന്റ് വെബ്സൈറ്റ്സിന്റെ ലിങ്ക്സ് ഞാൻ താഴെ കൊടുക്കാം. There's one called guichet.lu, in which you will find all these information about immigration policies, visas for workers, etc. So അത് ഒരു നല്ല ട്രസ്റ്റഡ് വെബ്സൈറ്റ് ആണ്. വേറെ നമ്മൾ കാണുന്ന വെബ്സൈറ്റ്സിൽ a lot of fake information is there. So do not go by that. Look for authorized government in the websites where you are getting information about immigration and how to migrate to Luxembourg for work. So I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, please do ask. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you so much. Have a great day.